Welcome back to the Austin Hour. I'm here with my friend, and we're talking about the Fort Worth Real Estate Association. And if you're interested in listening to the show every day, it comes on at 12 o'clock on Jim Austin Radio, our 24-hour jazz station, or you can download on YouTube, Jim Austin Online, and catch it there, or Facebook, and also on our website. So thank you for tuning in today. Robert, really just enjoying talking with you about some of the services that the association does. We talked a little bit about the political part of it. Would you like to expand on some of that, what we do? Because I know Austin is a destination, and before you became, are you executive director or president?
CEO.
CEO, okay. Robert did his work as a political consultant for the association, and I used to see him in Austin quite a bit. So now you're the big chief.
Yes,
head.
but yeah, previously I worked in Austin quite a bit on behalf of the association. And really one of the most important things that we can provide to our members is advocacy. And we consider our group that we advocate for not only our realtor members, but also the public as a whole. Is anybody who owns property in the state of Texas. The homeowners, commercial property owners, any of those groups, those are also our constituents who we advocate for. And so we have a very strong component of that, both locally in the city of Fort Worth, as well as Austin. Really our main goal at the heart of it is private property rights and making sure that people are able to purchase a home with as little encumbrances as possible. Purchase commercial property with as little encumbrances as possible. Unfortunately, sometimes the legislature sees real estate as a kind of a golden goose where they can raise a lot of revenue. And I'll tell you, I'll share a brief story with you. As realtor members, you know, you'll have these production titles, and so they'll say like $1 million producer, or what have you, which means you've done $1 million in sales. Let's say you sell 5 houses at $200,000 or so. You're called $1 million producer. Well, unfortunately, in the legislature, sometimes you have people who say, "Well, what do you care about me raising your taxes? You made $1 million last year. I saw you were $1 million producer." So they don't understand the terminology that we have, and so they see real estate and unfortunately as a great place to raise revenue. So one of our primary activities as an association is to make sure that we don't see these type of taxes that are proposed all the time on homeowners and to buy and sell real estate. I mean, when you think about it, for most people, owning real estate is going to be the biggest investment they ever make in their life, whether it's a personal home, maybe they buy commercial property, something like that. But that, for most people, they're not going to be involved in the market. That's going to be their big investment. And our position is that they should be able to get into a home at the lowest cost possible. I mean, it's the only build of wealth that you see in the United States that can actually apply to people who may be lower income or lower middle class or middle class, any of those income brackets. That's the only builder of wealth that you have is property ownership, seeing it as a piggy bank. So our goal is to make sure that we have as many people possible are able to do so, are able to get out there without burdensome taxes or fees or anything like that, because that really is the builder of wealth in communities, is home ownership.
A lot of people that don't realize this, and that most, probably 95% of all millionaires, billionaires have gotten their wealth through real estate.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
You know, I mean, you might be a doctor, a lawyer, or a dentist, but the fact that once they start their practice, it's the art or investing in real estate.
Of course, yeah, and it's really the middle class wealth builder is what real estate is investing in real estate, is because, you know, I mean, to be at one of those billionaire, you know, multi-millionaire, billionaire levels, there's some luck involved. There's quite a bit of luck, you know, involved. But, you know, for your average person who's out there, who's just trying to build some equity and to have a piggy bank, real estate's the way to go. Is that you know, it's a tangible asset that you have out there, and it's the primary wealth builder for most families in the United States, is being able to purchase real estate, to own real estate, put money into it, and you know, every time you pay your mortgage, it's like putting money in a savings account, because you're building equity in that real estate. Let's say you purchase a commercial property, for example, you know, which has a return, has a set return on it. You're getting those lease payments from the tenant where you have, and then you're also paying off and you're owning that piece of property. And you know, to be able to have that income stream, particularly in down times, is very important, because it doesn't fluctuate according to the stock market, what have you. That piece of real estate, that piece of commercial real estate, let's say, is an investment that you can count on. And even if you do have fluctuations in price, you still have a tangible asset. You're not going to see that asset diminishes in value to nothing, which any stock can do. And for real estate, you really can't get to that point, you know. So it's a very important investment for people.
And what Robert and I are telling you as an audience, to increase your wealth, you should go out and invest in some real estate. Because at one point, as you build that equity, that one day you'll pay that piece of property off, and then that revenue will constantly come to you as a way of retirement.
It's always yours. It's always yours. And you know, those payments, that it will adjust with inflation. So it's you know, some people buy annuities and that kind of thing, but real estate, you've got a leasable property, which you will always have in that case. You know, annuities can fluctuate with the market, and depending on, you know, who the president is or whatever the economy is doing at that point. But largely, commercial real estate will be that you always have to lease it. And it always had, you know, it most likely will always have a tenant, you know, who's going to be paying that rent on a monthly basis. And so, as a number one, an income generator, but as you mentioned, a wealth generator, it's a fantastic investment. Also, residential real estate is that, you know, if you, number one, you own your home, you're paying that off, and that for most people is the biggest wealth generator. But perhaps you want to invest in some rental houses or something like that. Again, everybody's got to live somewhere, so you're going to have that income stream on top of it by purchasing those other properties. And a lot of what our members do for their retirement is they purchase rental houses, which that will be a guaranteed income stream someday on the road.
Yeah, and Robert represents, through the association, over 3,000 license holders. I am a commercial real estate broker. I have to do a shout out for myself. If you're wanting to buy or lease commercial property, call Jim Austin. Go to the Austin Company website. But Robert, it's really just been great talking with you. I'll ask you a question because we're kind of wrapping up. Is there something that you want the audience to know about the association?
Sure. Is that, you know, our main mission is representing property owners. Is that we represent our licensees, our agents and brokers that are out there, but really we're also consumer focused. And so for people who are real estate inclined or anything like that, we try to provide as much information as possible on owning real estate, how to do it, how to get involved with it, you know, to step out there. I mean, for most people, and again, you know, their home is their biggest investment they may do, but maybe you're interested in commercial, you know, they should contact Jim Austin, of course. But, you know, they, you know, maybe they're interested in that kind of thing. And so would contact a broker like yourself to get involved with purchasing that real estate. It's really not, I think a lot of people may be afraid of commercial real estate as investment. It's not as scary as they think. Is that, you know, that you can own commercial real estate too.
We're going to have to wrap it up, Robert.
Sure,
Give the website real quick. What's the website?
Oh, www.gfwar.org.
Reach out to Robert, give him a call. He is the CEO of the organization. Robert, thank you so much for
Absolutely,
being
Jim.
with
Yeah,
me
I'm
today.
happy to be here.
And we could have gone on.
You got
Like
it.
I said,
Yeah.
we could be here all day, but
Yeah.
we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for listening to the Austin Hour on Jim Austin Online.